Oh, you guys, we are back with the Menopause Love Lounge. Oh my God, we are here. Woo, ooh, ooh. We are here with six hot ladies, not gonna lie. We all look good. We're feeling good. We're all feeling good in our skin. We're ready to talk about what? Finding love
Or
and
keeping
keeping
love.
love, more importantly. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about dating, love, and of course, menopause, right? Our midlife reboot, because love after 50, well, it deserves a new script, right? Like we're kind of creating our own narrative here. And I love that because it's never too late to start over. That's all we're going to say there to get that started because people need to understand that there's no timeline here. Do what you want when you want to do it. I love that. I love that. So, hi, ladies. Let's see who we have in our lounge
Hey.
today. We have Karen Viesta here in lovely pink.
Whoop, whoop.
Woo.
Hello.
Karen, you're rocking the pink outfits each week. I mean, you
I
really
do love my
are.
pink. I do love my
Yes.
pink.
Little pinky Tuscadero.
Did
Do you remember
y'all
that?
see Karen's reel with her daughter?
Yes.
If you are watching, like, you have to go follow Well Elegant Woman on Instagram, and you just like, Karen is such a hottie, a badass,
Such a
Karen.
all the things.
And such a rapper. Who knew? Hardcore.
This is what happens
Hardcore.
when you live with a 20-something. She tells
And
me all
you're-
the trends.
You're
I
a
just
theater
follow.
kid, Karen. Come on.
I love it.
She's a theater
I
kid.
love it.
So good. It was so good. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy.
Yo,
Ozzy's
yo,
in the
yo,
house.
everyone.
Yo, yo,
I'm
yo.
listening.
Welcome in. Lori
Thank you, thank
Gerber
you.
is here today and lovely pink as
Well,
well,
since
Lori.
Ozzy said yo, 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 I will say hello. How are you?
She's still your yo.
She's still my New York yo. The New York City is leaving me slowly. So,
So she's
hello.
helping you out. Hi.
Howdy. Howdy, y'all.
I'm just practicing. I'll be there next week. So
Perfect.
That's
Done.
right.
Hey, ladies, feeling on fire today in a good way, not in a hot flash way.
Nice. Distinctions.
Important on a menopause podcast.
I love that. Junie Moon. How's Junie Moon
So
today?
happy to be here. So happy to see y'all.
Yes. Love it. All right. I'm your host, Andrea Kanuki. We are diving in today all about finding and keeping love in midlife. We have got our personal reflections, which is kind of like our midlife reframe, right? So we all know that love hits differently after 50. So it's not always about finding someone new. It's also about finding a new way to keep the spark alive in your relationship, to own your own skin again. And so we are here to kind of share our intimate thoughts about love and dating. We're going to start out with that. We're then going to hit our cultural watch because we have to have the stats. We need to know what everybody else is doing. We can't be alone out here. So Karen always hits us hard with those stats. And we are going to be asking, why does pop culture still treat women in menopause like love's afterthought? We need to know that. What are the data? Our DMs tell us a much juicier story. So we're going to unpack the cultural watch and all of the celebrity chat. And then our favorite, legs wide open, is coming in the end. And we are going to hit that up with a smash or pass.
We're going to hit that up.
We're going to hit that. We're going to hit that
We're
up.
gonna
It's
come
our
in the end.
Comes out.
amazing.
Oh, I love
Okay.
it. So we love
The
talking
puns.
about balls, smash and pass, and we love it. So we're going to hit our first date edition, things that we should or shouldn't do on a first date. We're all going to kind of vote on it, whether it's a smash or a pass. So we got to stick around for that because it is, this segment is just our favorite.
Hysterical.
To do that. It's so, so good. Okay, with that, let's get started on our personal reflections, you guys. So how many of you, okay, well, let's look at this real quick. So Ozzy and I are dating. We're single. We'll say that. Ozzy's got that. We're not really dating. But
She's not dating. She's single.
she's not
It's
dating.
different.
She's single. Andrea's dating. She is also kind of single. And then we have Junie, who is in a relationship. How long have you been with your man, Junie?
It's so nice to say I'm losing track, but I
Ooh.
think we're at 14, 15 months, something like that.
Okay,
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah,
Congrats.
yeah.
And then
Thank you.
Karen is holding down the fort on this dating relationship thing. How long have you been with your man, Karen?
About 4.5 years.
Take that, Junie.
Okay, I'll see that and raise you.
That's right.
She hasn't lost track yet. She still
hasn't
knows
lost
the number
track
of
yet.
months.
And then we
54
have
months.
50
right.
more months. That's right. And then, of course, we have our resident veterans here. We have Lori and Dawn who have been holding down the fort for us for many, many years. And so
Reppin'
they're going to,
marriage.
yes.
That's
So you
right.
guys are going to kind of give us like the deets on what it takes to keep your man for this
Holding
long.
down the dick.
Woo!
Okay.
Instead of the
Yeah.
fort.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Holding down the dick.
Love it.
Pussy
Okay.
Posse
That's
likes a good
us.
dick, Lori. That's all I'm
Pussy
saying.
posse likes a good dick.
That's a great soundbite right there. Oh my gosh. All right, let's
Wow.
get things started. Lori, I love that you always sit kind of center square for me and you like to go first at the buffet. Girls
I
got to
do like
eat.
to go first.
Tell
I
me
do,
what you
but I
got.
don't, I feel like I've been talking about my relationship to darling husband Will of now 27 years a lot. So
Yeah.
what I want to say I'm
Oh,
noticing though, my personal reflection on dating comes from my work as a dating coach because this is what I literally do day in and day out is I specifically coach women over 50 on dating.
amazing.
That's my life. That's my life. That's what I'm constantly talking about on my podcast, talking about all the time. And here, if I had to encapsulate what I'm seeing is different now in midlife, it's two things. Number one, you've already lived a whole life. It is
Mm,
so different than dating in your 20s and 30s. It's ridiculous. Like you know the temperature you like, you know how you like your food, you know everything about how you like to live.
Mhm.
And now you're supposed to combine your life with another person. It's totally different than when you were growing up with somebody
mhm,
and for many of us, our first marriages or our marriages, in my case, we're growing up with someone and developing all of that
yeah.
together versus now separately. And the second
Yeah.
thing is now dating is happening predominantly online. And for those of us in midlife, we grew up without the internet. Remember that, ladies? We grew
Yes.
up without the internet. And some people
Mhm.
who are newly dating in the last decade have literally never dated on the internet before. So that is not just shocking to have to date again and figure out what you want again and figure out love again and figure out the mistakes you've made and how to not repeat them, but also how to literally do it with your two thumbs.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's totally mind boggling. So dating in midlife is not the same as any other time anybody's ever dated in human
Yeah.
history. So
Yeah.
boom, it's a big deal.
Great.
Yeah,
Great
big deal.
point. Karen, what do you think? How has your view of dating shifted kind of in midlife, even though you've been in this relationship for 4 years?
Yeah. So I was married for 24 years and I got married at 24. So
Whoa.
my first, my marriage was basically, Lori, what you just described, growing up with somebody.
Hmm.
And then I was divorced at 48, dated for 4 years before meeting my guy. And
Mm.
the biggest thing I learned was to become radically selfish. I
Hmm.
believe there is a very healthy way to be selfish, but I had to learn that. That did not come naturally to me. And I
Mhm.
think it was the thing that moved me from kissing a lot of frogs and making some bad dating decisions to finally getting the clarity to meet, the man that I feel is like the love of my life and the person I want to spend forever with. But it was an inside job, to
Yeah.
move
Mhm.
me from point A to point B.
Karen,
Yeah.
can I just
Yeah.
ask you, does your man know this? And if so, when did he find out and how did he react?
Know about my belief
You're
in being selfish.
radical. That one.
Or that he's your partner for life.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
both.
maybe
I mean,
doesn't know that yet.
we're very open and my business, I started my business right around the time I met him. So he's very much aware of the way that I coach women and what I believe and how I live my life. And he's super, super supportive of it. I mean, he
Mm,
he loves all of it. I think he's learned. I think he feels like he's learned a lot from just our
Sure.
conversations about this
Yeah.
because I really
yeah.
don't think men have any idea what women at this stage of life think and feel and how we live and what we prioritize. Like, I just don't think a lot of couples are having these conversations. I
Yes.
certainly didn't with my ex husband.
Would he call it
Mhm.
selfish? Do you think he would call it selfish?
he thinks I'm the most generous person he's ever
Okay.
met,
But
but
that's
Interesting.
what healthy
what I tell
selfishness
him
creates.
that's exactly
Yeah.
right, and that's what
Exactly.
I
Oh,
tell him. It's
yeah.
only because I take care of myself the way that I do
Right.
that I can come into this relationship and be
In
as
abundance.
loving and giving as I am.
Yes. I find you very
Mhm.
generous too. It's
Mhm.
I do
interesting that
too.
you
Thank
use the
you.
word selfish, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
I see you're using it in a particular way.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
I
Mhm.
mean, I
that's the
think it's gotten a
shadowy
bad
selfish.
rap.
Yeah, it's shadow selfish. It's like
Mhm.
only thinking of ourselves and what will other people think versus what about me? What about my needs? Because a lot of women are afraid of being selfish,
Yeah.
thinking they're going to throw out their generosity, throw out their heart, being
Mhm.
able to really show up for people. So it is embracing a different concept of
Yeah.
Mhm.
being selfish, healthy selfish, as you just said, Dawn.
Yeah, and
It's the
Yeah.
selfish and
same.
self-centered is
Oh,
usually
that,
right.
Ozzy, yes.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
it's it's
Yeah.
it's it's not self-centeredness, right? You are considering other people, but you come first. So if you're healthy and you're good, then your world is good.
Think about the
Mm,
conversation we're having about regenerative soil and climate change, right? Like
mhm.
healthy, like supple soil is going to produce so much more bounty than depleted, stripped soil. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about
Mm,
nourishing the soil of our femininity
mhm.
so profoundly that we can produce a crop that is abundant,
Oh, I
across,
love
right?
that.
Whether it's
You're making me
work
feel so
or,
good.
oh, good, I'm glad.
Great metaphor.
This is working
Great
for my
metaphor.
pussy. I just
You know
want you
what
to
I
know.
use to make this soil fertile is Froya organic skincare.
I love that product.
That's
But
amazing.
ladies, let's think about it even.
Mm,
If selfish implies that I am the center of my world, my little universe, well, who else should be the center of our universe? Like, if not us,
Exactly.
then who? It
Yeah.
seems to me like anything other than that leads to codependency and
Amen.
just a lot of things that detract from relationships,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and I
Unhealthy
this is
attachments.
it's just what I believe. So fundamentally, it's part of my coaching, always, like, no
Mhm.
matter who comes to me with what issue that they want to work on, I feel like this is really at the heart of it.
The only
Mhm.
thing I would add to that for me and the way that I live is I would add to that the other thing that's at the center of my focus or world or lived experience is my higher power or right like whatever you want to call that, right? My spirituality, my faith. Like
Absolutely.
that's it. It's me and my faith
Yes.
and everything
Yes.
else is
Mhm.
adjunct. Yeah. Or
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
springs from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And do you
center of
think
the universe. Sorry?
Mhm.
Was
yeah,
that did
it
you was I called on? Oh.
yeah, no. That's right. It's a sense of
Am I up?
connectedness, right? It's
Yeah.
connectedness to self, but it's also connectedness to whatever else is out there, whatever you believe in. And that
Mhm.
that gives you that soil that you're talking about,
Yeah.
that fertile,
Exactly.
that ability to plant seeds that can grow into some in a beautiful garden. And before you go, Junie, I wanted to ask, and probably to Karen, and I guess well to everybody that's not single, do you think that this works better at a certain time within your relationship? Because you guys are very comfortable in your relationships, right? So you've adapted to it. You guys are moving together. Everything is cohesive. You feel secure. You're in your secure attachment with it, right? But those of us that are dating that are not necessarily in that secure attachment. Some are stuck in the anxious attachment, the fearful avoidant. And so we're afraid. I'm not necessarily saying me, even though I'm saying we, but we're afraid to kind of be selfish at the fear that they're going to see us as being maybe a little
Mm.
bit, you know, like too standoffish. Oh, she's just all
Mhm.
about herself. So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's a different well, maybe a little bit of a different process depending on what phase you are in the dating world right now.
I would love to answer that one, and since you
Mm,
called on me already, I'm gonna just take
yes.
it.
Give it. Give it.
You know, as I was thinking and, well, listening to all you all and just thinking about my journey, when I left my marriage, my 20-year marriage, of having certain patterns and certain challenges of speaking up and expressing myself, walking on eggshells, I went out there thinking it would be different. Well, now I know I don't want a
Mhm.
man that's like this. And nothing really changed because I had not done the inner work. I had not unpacked the patterns, the fears, the doubts, all the stuff that had me walking on eggshells. And so I'm a
Mhm.
shadow worker. I'm a trained shadow worker, and that's what I primarily do is help people get ready to date. And so to your question around when's the good time? I always think it's a journey. I think it's a
Mhm.
never ending unfolding. With that said, I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make is going out there too soon without actually stopping and really checking in with who am I now? Because I
Mhm.
didn't do that. I didn't do that. And then I went on some dates and I was like, oh my God, he's the same thing as my husband, or I'm
Mhm.
acting the same way and
Yeah.
anxious attachment, totally
Yeah.
me. Until I was like, oh, this is the piece. This is the root that I haven't pulled out yet. And
Right.
so the timing is when you know that something is off and you're not truly the center of your own universe.
Yeah.
That's deep self-love, reverence, honoring of who you are. And so it's a for me it's a journey. I still am unfolding pieces. And so when somebody wants to date, wherever you are in that journey,
Yeah.
keep coming home to who am I? What am I seeing? Am I still following, being the people pleaser or afraid to ask, can you hold the space for me and listen to me without fixing me? Like, where are the
Yeah.
communication skills? Things like that. So
Yeah.
to me, it's a
Beautifully.
never ending journey. And
Yeah.
there's no time like the present to have that deep self love and honoring like what matters most to us now. And that
Yeah.
changes the whole dating thing, makes it way more fun and way more productive, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I feel
Beautifully
like
said,
the
Joni.
right person, yes, that was great. The right person will appreciate that. Like they kind of say you're never too much for the right person, right? So
Right.
with that being said, I think if you are like that, they're going to see that and somebody's going to admire that in us. Like, wow, she knows
Exactly.
exactly who she is and find that super attractive in someone. So I really
Right. And
love
Yeah.
we can
that.
relax and be ourselves and love ourselves and shine our light. And that's what attracts a much higher quality person to match where we are now. And that
Yeah.
whole am I being too much or what are people thinking? That's old shit that we picked up along the way that we need
Yeah.
to unplug from. Otherwise, it's going to keep showing up. And that's why relationships continue to look very similar unless you've
They do.
changed, unless you've
Yeah.
grown.
And
Definition of
that's
insanity.
imprinted in our and that's printed in our bodies, right? We wear our right our beliefs in our body. And when we walk around with a nervous system that expects the world to treat them a certain way because of a belief that they have, that we have, we often attract that. And so
Yep.
Mhm.
that's why I've chosen to be not dating. And I've not dated for the past 5 years because it was really important for me to date from a place of acceptance of self, radical selfishness, but also just I get healing is you're never healed. It's a journey, and for me, it was important that I still felt that there were some background noise, that there's still something vibrating inside of me that was attracting, like you said, the same patterns,
Hmm.
and I really needed to get to the root of it, and so I consciously chose to not date for the past five years. Yeah.
That's
That's where I'm
cool.
at with.
I
That's
think it's
cool.
really powerful to make that choice. And in fact, I had
Mhm.
done that before I met my love of my life. I really said, I need to really spend some time with myself and really get aligned in a whole new way. And then when I was fully like, oh, yes, I'm ready for him, one swipe, ladies, one
Yeah.
swipe.
It's a
That's
click.
Lori's
Woo.
story too,
There's a
right? Like
click.
she
A
cleared some
click
shit up and like
happens.
boop. Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Ooh.
is a moment, and we think it takes a really long time to find the love of your
Mm-mm.
life, but
No,
maybe it takes one single moment
just
after
the
you've done
right
all
person.
the hard work.
I told this
Yeah.
story on Andrea's from Mrs. to Ms. recently, where I was like, all it took was my current husband to get arrested, and then I was like, oh, now I want him.
Just needed him to be a little more of a bad boy.
A
Just
little
a
less
little bit.
Available, right?
Just
It
a
was a
little less
clerical error,
available.
ladies,
I
clerical
don't know
error,
that
but
story.
I don't know the story either.
Oh. And isn't that wild that we find those little things so attractive? It's that little bit of chase. I hate to say that, but I think we all like that and need that just a little bit to feel like,
That's
there's something
hoo-ha.
you're working
There's
toward.
head, heart, and
And
hoo-ha. And
hoo-ha.
Yep.
That's
hoo-ha
Gotta have
my
matters, or
hoo-ha is
hoo-ha.
else it's
chasing. I
just a
can't keep
friend.
up.
It's yeah.
I do
Yeah.
want to say though, like I think a lot of us sort of there is that stigma about being single or not dating,
Mm,
right? Like people are like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you dating? It's like
yeah.
there's nothing wrong. It's just a
Right.
choice. And until you come to a different choice of I'm ready, I'm here for it, right? It's that click as you
Hmm.
mentioned.
it happens. And again, it comes with certainty, and the certainty creates a vibration and a frequency in your body that then will attract
Yes.
exactly
I
your
don't
match.
know. My now marriage did not come with certainty, and I had certainly done a boatload of good work before we got married, but he's the guy I'm meant to be with on so many levels for so many reasons. But the thing that I tell people to look for is someone who's willing to grow with them, because life is such a journey, to Junie's point and everybody's point, right? Is that if you don't have someone who's really willing to iterate on that and like look within and be growth oriented and problem solve together and be vulnerable and like be creative about how you're going to attack certain things in life. What Andrea said was so true. I was never too much for my now husband, which is amazing. It's the best feeling in the world. But also, we weren't that skilled, 12 years ago or 13 years ago when we got married. And we've had to build those skills together. And I wasn't certain back then. And so I don't think it's an all or nothing, like, don't date until you're ready or you're super clear about who you were. Like, I was better at understanding who I was and what I needed. But I still had a hard time holding onto the walls of self. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like that Pretty Woman, not Pretty Woman, the one with Richard Gere where she didn't know how she liked her eggs, right? It's like
Oh, yeah.
when
that
you
one,
get,
yeah.
Runaway Bride.
Runaway
When
Bride.
I was that person that when I got into a relationship, I would start to surrender my truth in order to keep you, right? Because I had such attachment shit going on. And so those walls of self for me have gotten so strong now that, I'm able to say, no, that doesn't work for me very easily. But that's been a journey in this marriage, and one that we did together. And there's a beauty to that too, that we built
That's
something
beautiful.
together. Yeah.
Different
Yeah.
strokes.
Yeah.
And not
I
have to
love
be
that.
perfect to start, not having
That.
to
No.
be
Yeah.
at this
Yeah.
place of I'm 100% ready.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that
That's going to
said,
hold us back.
but the one thing that he and I did have in common that we did attract each other around was like our commitment to the solution and to each other was profound, right? There was a level of
Powerful.
commitment to solving that was going to supersede everything else. And so I do think there are certain metrics that need to be checked off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have felt in the last, decade and a half or whatever, my capacity to choose rather than feeling this desperate need to be chosen. That's the thing that I think needs to start to shift for women. I don't think it has to be perfect, but I think there's got to be
Correct.
at least this
Yeah.
sense of, right, like, can I choose versus desperation? Pick me.
Inside
I was a
out.
pick me girl.
Coming
Perfect.
from this
Perfectly
place.
said.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always tell my daughter, who's 23, the prize doesn't chase, right? Like there
Yes.
has to be the sense that you don't need to chase somebody else. And to your point, Dawn, there has to be a willingness. You may not both have figured everything out, but there has to be the willingness to do the work together and to grow.
Right.
There are always going to be challenges. I mean, I'm with my partner for 4.5 years, and we're facing the challenges of blending families and what it means to
So
be
tricky.
dating and moving forward in this stage of life. But what I've learned is that if there's the willingness on both people's part to attack the problem and not each other, then you can get somewhere.
Conflict.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conflict and
Same
repair
team.
is so important.
Ladies, we say smart shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to jump in there from this side of, I guess I'm the lone dater here since Ozzy ditched me. Ozzy, you and I should just.
I used to date a lot.
Well, for me, it's been very interesting in this age that I'm at right now. I'm 51 and kind of in the dating because I've always liked older men. I've talked many times about when I was 14 and that I watched Dirty Dancing for the first time and I couldn't sleep for months thinking about Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
And so, right? And so it was at,
Same. We're the same age. Oh my God.
and so it was I know. And it was at that point that I was like, ooh, I like older men. And so I've kind of, but then we all know imprinted. I have talked on Dawn's podcast, Your Divorce Diary, about getting dick slapped by a young man, right? It's also an episode on mine because that was very traumatic and it was very different for me. So I've been trying to find this happy medium. And I think the tricky part is a lot of the older men are very set in their ways, right? So they don't want to change up anything. They want to find a partner, but they don't want to really make space and room for them at times. Not everyone, but a lot of them. And they've been this way for so long, it's really hard for them to change. And so then I, kind of run out of older men because I'm like, I mean, I'm a little selective. I'll say selective. But, so then I switched it up and opened my filters a little bit to make them a little bit younger. Well, then I'm going into the men that still want kids or have younger kids. So it's a really tricky spot to be in right now. And I'm just trying to kind of, navigate through it and find the best way to get through it. And I'm still enjoying it. I mean, I'm
This
tired
makes
of.
me want to read your profile,
I was going to
Andrea.
say, how
I'm
do you
just
feel
like,
about
I
an
need to read your
introduction? Can I
profile.
make an introduction?
Ah,
All right.
I know. I
feel
could
like
use a little help.
this is not the most efficient way to find the love of your life.
It's not. It's not. I know. And I sit there looking at other people's profile, like, you're talking to yourself, you're just swiping through, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Oh my God. No, you're like
Yeah,
talking
no,
like that.
that's not.
It's just,
It's not the
it's
mindset we want.
interesting. Yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
about finding what's right for me. I'm a little tired of telling the same stories over and over, for every first date. It's a little, I was on Price is Right and won a car. I love to tell those stories, but it's like, how many times can you tell the same story? So
You could
I
just
don't know.
send a video.
I could.
Just like, here's a few things
I
to
just-
watch before
Just
we.
tell them to come inside the lounge. Just
Yeah.
join us in the
Exactly.
lounge.
Exactly.
You'll know everything
to
there
know
is
me.
to know about
Everything.
Andrea.
Yeah.
Her legs are wide open.
Pre-vet. You got to
Yeah.
pre-vet, Andrea. A little bit more. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
if you
But
don't
Andrea,
pre-vet.
I know we're talking a lot about online dating, but I'm curious
Yeah.
because we can't forget that there's still a world out there where we could,
There
right?
is.
We could, are there other means of you meeting people,
No.
meeting men? No.
Yes, Dawn is going to introduce you to someone.
Yes, Dawn is going to hopefully in the same vicinity as Andrea because she likes
No,
quality time.
actually,
It's very
no.
But
Mm-mm.
see how quick that one went
Don't
out the
limit
window.
yourself, Andrea.
Are
travel.
you
He'll
in
travel.
Don't
California?
limit. Yes.
Aren't you
I
in California?
am.
Please.
I am
There's
in
humans there.
California. Yeah, but it's a different kind of human here. It's everybody. It's a
Okay.
different agenda here.
I know,
need a
we
whole
gotta move
session
on
for
'cause
this.
I'm
We
hard
need a
at
whole
it too.
Limited.
I know.
mindset.
You're in trouble now.
Well, and listen,
Andrea.
I know. I'm hitting all the criteria because I like somebody kind of close to me because I like quality time. I like someone 6 foot and over. And every time I go there, I'm narrowing my limit down to 14% of the men out there are 6 foot and taller. So every time I go up one little inch, I'm
He's
limiting.
tall. He's tall. I'm telling you, I've
okay.
got your guy.
Okay.
Don has
You
him.
have me.
Let's
Okay.
just skip the
I'll stop
line,
there.
Andrea.
Is he ready
I
for
have
Price
to
is
say
Right?
that-
Does he have a brother, Dawn? Does he have a brother?
I think so. Does he?
Like a shorter brother,
I
maybe?
want to add something about your
No, I want
criteria.
short.
Oh, wait. Hold up. Let me add.
So I would love to add one thing about the criteria that you just said, because I live 12 miles away from New York City. And if I said anything above 10-mile radius online, I would have New York City, and that's like another country with
Yeah.
all the travel. And then a colleague of mine said, "But what if your soulmate is a little further
I
away?"
was thinking.
And I was like, okay. Well,
Mhm.
that's what I did. I made the radius much bigger, and he lives about an hour and a half on a good day, but he does all the
Mm.
traveling.
Oh.
So
I always say to my
worked
clients, if he
out.
has a private jet, are you going to be okay? Like, is it going to
Yeah.
be okay? Like, can you just say
Yeah.
geographically compatible? Do you have to set
Yeah.
even a mile radius? Just
Yeah, and
Yeah.
keep an
I
open
am
mind.
pretty open about my
Open,
radius.
yeah.
I've just had a couple times where it's turned out that, I had one guy that was just like, he wanted somebody like in his own backyard. And I'm like, I don't know that you're always going to find your soulmate in your own backyard, right? And to me, he was like, I'm dating intentionally. And I'm like, I think you're dating conveniently is what you're doing. And so that made it a little bit trickier. Yeah. And I was like, well, and I really liked him. We really liked each other, but he wanted to be able to, come home from work and just chill and just roll down the street to his girl. And
He was never
Sorry.
going to be okay with healthy selfishness.
yes, right. You're right.
Yeah.
So it weeded him out, and we don't
But-
see it as that at the time, but that's what's happening.
If I
Lori.
could just offer one thought to you, Andrea, and then I know we
Mhm.
have to move on to our statistics, and that is
Mhm.
just please don't extrapolate any one experience you've had with any of these men to
Yeah.
any other man. Because those are vignettes that prove certain things that could be enough to freak someone out to never date
Mhm.
again. Between the dick slap and
Yes.
you have to be in my backyard to short, to, like all of it. none of
I mean,
it
I'm
has
still here.
anything to do. None of it has anything to do with you meeting the love of your life.
Yes,
Plus
and I know
one
it's
to that.
coming. I know it's coming. I'm
Okay.
less worried about it than I used to be. I'm so good with myself that and my friends and my family. It's just I'm so blessed that it's kind of like, yeah, you'll be lucky to find me when he gets here.
He will
So,
be.
That's right.
Let's
You are the
let's
prize.
let's doggy ear this for a future episode.
I love that.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
okay. Nice work, ladies. All right, Karen, what do you got for us with our cultural watch? You've got some good stats for us on dating in the
I do.
50s. Give it to us.
So how about this? Among single women over 50, adults, not just women, single
Mhm.
adults over 50 who say that they're looking, only 1 in 4 is online. I
Only
found
like
that really
only a
surprising.
billion, only like a billion people, guys. Billions.
Only
Only
1 in
billions.
4 have
Only
used a
billions.
dating app in the
4.
last year. So I thought that was surprising.
Yeah,
This
very.
this
Because
is
you thought it
one
was going to
that
be more? Did
yeah,
you?
I thought it
Yeah.
was going to be more.
I
You
did
know,
too, 'cause
I
it
thought
feels
that's
like
kind of the
that's
way people date now.
People
I
have
think people are
resistance. They're
scared.
scared, and they have all these
Totally.
stories of all these scammers, and
There's
you
also
know, so
financial constraint. I mean, there's so many reasons why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
yeah,
to
I mean, it's
mention
still a lot of people.
It's
not to
yeah,
mention
still
the
a
and
lot of
bots.
people.
it's
The
The
AI
bots. The
interesting.
bots. Now you
bots.
don't know who you're talking to half the time. I mean, I actually asked a guy, "Are you using ChatGPT?" And he's like, "Well, 50-50." And I'm like, "Great. Then
Yeah,
I only get
they are. They
50% of
are.
the conversation when you show up." Like,
Wow.
Chad is coming to a date.
It's absolutely.
yeah.
And here is another interesting one. 57% of women between the ages of 50 and 70 say that they just don't want a traditional relationship. They want to be in a relationship, but they don't want a traditional one. And many of them prefer this living apart together. You've heard this term or
Right.
LAT, which is basically committed love without cohabitation. And,
Yes.
you know,
That's what you
more and
do.
more women are leaning toward that. Yeah.
Mm.
Which I thought was very interesting.
So is
Now,
that what we're calling?
That's very Gen X, right? That was
It
never
is.
possible
Yeah.
before our generation to even
Never.
conceive of that.
No,
So is
I
that what
think
we're
that's
calling
super interesting.
traditional? Is that just the only component of traditional relationship that you are living apart or together? Or what does that look like for when someone's saying they don't want to live a traditional relationship? What does that look like? What changes?
I think they
do you
mean combine households and money.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's
Yeah.
getting
what they mean by
married. A lot of
traditional
people
Getting
don't want to
married.
do
marriage.
the legal thing. Like, why? You had the kids. There's no real need, and
Right.
yet,
Yeah.
with the healthcare and stuff sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Huh.
And
Huh.
so we don't leave out our married friends. There's a stat here that says that a long-term marriage study found that couples who stay together 25 years report higher satisfaction and intimacy when they keep introducing novelty and emotional vulnerability, even more than in their early years. So all of this to me points to the fact that the secret to real lasting love isn't endurance or how long you're together, but it's how well do you evolve together. It's just what we were
love
talking about,
that.
right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
dynamicism, or however we might say that, being being able to be dynamic.
Yeah.
One more time.
I know. I know.
It's iterative. It's iterative. The dynamism is iterative.
Well,
Dynamism.
That's 5 times.
relationships are a living thing. It
Yeah.
needs to be nurtured. It needs to have light on it to grow. And a lot of
Mhm.
people get into these ruts and they don't grow. So it's not surprising that they die while
Yeah.
people are changing. So
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that stat. It's beautiful.
Those are good.
Can
Those are
I
good.
also, I've been wanting to say this whole time, and I think now might be the time to say it, which is that I define love as a verb. And the verb is caring about the other person's experience as much as you do your own. So I have this scale I teach my clients that, if you care more about another person's experience, you might be a doormat or a people pleaser. If you only care about another person's experience, you are a codependent. If you care about your experience to the exclusion of someone else's, that's called selfish. And then if you only care about your own experience, that's called narcissism. But right here in the middle, you dance between caring about your own experience, which I think we're calling radical selfishness. It is radical for a lot of women, but it's caring about your own experience, caring about how you feel and how you perceive the world and what you're experiencing in any given moment. while also caring about another person's experience. And we know that we can't actually multitask, right? And
Yeah.
we can't, even a simultaneous orgasm is not exactly simultaneous. So we actually have to keep toggling between caring about our own experience and the other person's experience to stay current in the relationship being in balance. But whenever we forego one, the relationship becomes imbalanced if we forego it for too long, right? Good relationships
Yeah.
can kind of
Ebb and
equalize
flow.
over days or weeks or months,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
ultimately it's not all about, radical selfishness. It is about
Mhm.
keeping that balance if we want healthy,
Yeah.
lasting love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Wow.
dance.
That
I
was
love
great,
that.
Lori.
Yeah.
So well said. My
Yeah.
gosh.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
well said.
I mean,
Yeah.
even a squirrel
I
gets a
say it a
nut every
lot.
once in a while.
I say it a lot. It's a big
I
part of
like it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the celebrities out there, how their views are on dating over 50. So I pulled a couple different ones this time so we get a broader perspective. So Charlize Theron, who she's hot, 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 still at 50, she has made it very clear that she's not interested in traditional dating. So here we go again with the traditional dating, and especially not within Hollywood. So she is 49 and she says she's not missing a relationship and she feels complete on her own. So she says the apps are a clown show, which they kind of are. And so,
Ouch.
yeah. And so she's kind of a reminder that peace and independence can be just as sexy as romance can. Right. So we really like that. And I did remember seeing a clip where she was like, yeah, I just recently got with a 26-year-old guy. She did say, she's like, it was fun. So you
So
can
she's
try
not
that too.
just sitting at home
At
alone.
home. Yeah. She's
Right.
sitting
She's
on
getting the dick
something.
slapping.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
But we
sitting
can't
on
Now we
something.
know.
we can't forget we're social beings. We thrive
Yes.
in connection. So it's not
Yeah.
necessarily like we could say we won't be able.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we thrive alone forever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't. I believe
Yeah,
that
I'm
we're
I
with
meant
you.
to
think that
be.
too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means
Okay.
we're going
So,
to get to talk about Ozzy's love life at some point, folks.
ooh,
Keep
I
tuning.
know.
Keep
We
tuning
can't
in.
wait. I
I'm
can't wait.
open. Yes.
We're getting there. We're getting real close.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have a Linda Evangelista, supermodel, right? She used to be a
Mhm.
supermodel back in the day. So she
Yeah.
is also done pretending. She's flat out said, I don't want to sleep with anybody anymore. I don't want to hear someone breathing. she, Lori can relate.
Needs a liver
Right, you
cleanse.
can sleep with them and not listen to it.
You can put tape
Earplug.
over their
There's
mouth.
headphones for that. There's noise cancelers.
Yeah. So she's saying that after years in the public eye and major life changes, she's unapologetically opted out of dating altogether. And it just, people are saying that her solitude is refreshingly raw. I think it's,
Mm.
I don't know. I don't think you got to cut the cord. I think
There's
that,
some sour grapes going on here. I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
people
gets
are
better.
Yeah.
little.
Just some things we don't know about Miss
I know.
Evangelista.
What else
Yes.
is there? We don't
All
know
right.
the
We've
full
got
story.
Sharon Stone, who also likes to do the legs wide open. See that? See that?
Yes.
She's our mascot.
She's our mascot.
Our legs wide open mascot.
That's awesome. So she has also said she's done with dating, recognizing that many people simply weren't worth her time.
Oh.
And that is a self-discovery. She prefers solitude, real connections, and integrity over the drama or game playing that often comes with traditional dating. So I guess if we look at that, we were talking a little bit about traditional dating. There is even so much more to it. Just the things that people are seeing out there, not worth the time. Nobody's making an effort. They're lazy. They don't want to pay the bill. I don't know. There's so many different
I
things
think
traditionally.
this is a stage, and it's a highly negative
Yes.
stage, and I
Yes.
see a lot of people go through it. I mean, I was saying to a friend today that I have not seen the level of negativity about dating and dating sites. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
politics. Like, that is how enraged and incensed people are, and
Yeah.
I am not. We doth protest too much. I am.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical what's behind
Well,
that.
and that's hard, Lord, because there is a lot of people that meet their soulmate on there. There's so many great stories out there of people
Yeah.
who have met someone. So really, it's about dating intentionally. It's about fixing your profile to appear intentional, emotionally available, and to let somebody come in. And I will say, people are lazy on the dating apps. They might put, a prompt on Hinge might be, "What do you do on a Sunday afternoon?" And they'll just be like, in bed or lazy or something very, very basic, simple. Yes. What am I going to get out of that? Nothing. And that tells me if you're not making an effort now, you're not going to make an effort later. Correct.
I
That is
just
a
think
thumbs down.
I just really truly believe, and I hate, and it breaks my heart that people are talking about dating this way, because I just think that they're hanging on to these bad experiences, and
Mhm.
not look, if you talk about a bad experience, you're going to see bad experience, right? So
Yeah.
talk about the elephant, you're going to see the elephant.
Yeah.
It's if you start to talk about it as something that's exciting. All my friends had horrible experiences on dating. I never did. I just
Mm.
I didn't allow for it in my energy space. I did not allow for it, so I didn't
Yep.
see it. So I don't.
Great.
So I
Great.
don't. I'm not standing with people who are like, no, it's the same thing. I think, like, I don't give a fuck club. Like,
Yeah.
okay. But I get the concept that we're in this midlife stage, and
Yeah. We
we're
still
not
gotta give a
maybe
fuck.
entertaining the BS, right? Like, but that's you. Like, if you believe that there is someone out there that would be a good match for you, you will find
Mhm.
him or her
Mhm.
or it
Mhm.
or they,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
And so much of that experience is managing your own energy. When I was online dating, I knew when it was time for me to take a break from it. I knew when
Great
my
point.
energy was getting low, when I was becoming more
Correct.
negative, and all that meant it was a signal to me like, okay, time to come off, time to
Mhm.
go within, work on myself, and when
Yeah.
I'm feeling good, I get back on, and I'm getting on in such a better state of mind and such a better
Yeah.
energy.
Mhm.
You just have
Yes.
to
Mhm.
get better at dating. I think once you get better at dating, then again, energetically,
Mhm.
psychologically, all of the above,
Mhm.
you see different results. And
Yeah.
Yep.
I teach that as well, even though I'm not actively, but I'm also not talking badly about it. I just refuse
Yeah.
to be on that train.
Yeah. Done.
And the getting better
Nope.
at dating, I just wanna say, is an inside job. It's like you
Correct.
could have the strategies, like, who are you being? How are you
Correct.
showing up? So
Yeah.
if
That's
you're
exactly
if you've
right.
taken a break and now you're like, I'm ready again, I'm excited, that's the energy that you're gonna bring that will give you
Yeah.
different results.
And
Mhm.
notice when you're not in that energy, like Karen said, give yourself a
Take a
break.
break.
Just give yourself,
Yep.
don't bring that energy into that experience, because that's what's going to determine what you're going to see.
Okay, so moving on to our next segment, we're going to do our legs wide open segment, which we love to do. We're going to play a little game called Smash or Pass. It is the first date edition. All right. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to throw out 10 different things that you would do on the first date or would or shouldn't do. And we're going to say smash or pass. So, green is going to be smash, meaning yes, that's a hit. Pass is going to be red. All right, here we go. Number one, wearing something slinky on the first date. Is that a smash or a
Outside or
pass?
inside?
You're
I'm gonna
not going
say
inside on a first date. You're not going
I mean,
inside on a first date.
Woo,
Dollar
woo,
sales
woo. But maybe
already.
I want to feel some type of way underneath.
Oh, just for
then
you
get the Benoit
underneath.
balls, the Benoit
I
balls.
say
Oh,
that
underneath your clothes, you can wear something slinky. Sorry, I
That's my
misunderstood.
context here. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
But outside, you dress no cleavage. You're sending the wrong
No
message. Okay, let's go.
cleavage. Number two, having two cocktails, just enough to loosen up. Is two okay on a first date?
Oh,
No.
snap. We are so sober.
Oh, I
Sober,
would have
Except for
said
Dawn
two.
and
especially
Andrea.
first date.
Yeah.
First
Dawn and
date,
Andrea want to have
sober.
fun.
I
Don't wanna say something you don't mean. Don't wanna be too
The
slippery.
yeah.
dating coaches want you sober.
And
Right.
maybe a second, depending on how
I
it's going.
agree.
All right. Number three, meeting at a concert for a first date.
Boo. You need to
Boo.
talk.
You wanna
Yeah.
talk. You wanna
Boo.
connect.
I
Even Dawn thinks you should have a sit down
So
first.
that's an
Okay.
all pass. Okay. Number four, bringing up your divorce story right away. John Wiggins, divorce
Ah,
expert.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
don't bring your
that's
divorce. No, 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 no,
I don't know
no.
that I have much of an opinion on this one. I mean,
yeah,
I would, overshare.
yeah,
Oversharing,
Yeah, I mean,
negativity.
yeah.
Date
All
Yeah.
two
right,
or three, it's a must. It's a must on date
it's a
two or
must.
three.
Number
Agree on
five,
that
bringing
one. Yeah.
bringing your pet along on your date.
Oh
No,
God.
Well, if you have a dog and you're going
I'm
for a doggy
sorry.
walk, that could be
No, the
fun.
dog's a
That would be
distraction.
no,
such a turn off
no.
to me.
Yeah,
That would
I
be a
can.
major turn
And you
off.
don't want
Yeah,
something cuter than you in the picture.
Dory.
no. Yeah, and I can't handle dating a dog with a dog. No. All right. Number six, going home with him if the chemistry's insane.
Not on a first date.
You
This is
want a
first date.
long-term relationship, don't do it. Don't
That's
do
right.
it.
Do it.
There's
Don't
so
do it.
much brain science that reinforces that. Like, you just can't
Yes.
do it.
Let's have a whole
Yes.
segment on don't have
Let-
sex on the first date.
That's
Okay,
right.
Yes,
That's
a
right.
whole,
we do
a
need
whole
to.
episode.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll hit that.
Okay. We feel
Okay,
strongly.
we do. Number 7, wearing your you're Dawn, wearing your ugly undies just in case.
Give yourself
You
help.
you got well,
I
if you're
like
not
you
going home on
might
the
as
first
well.
date, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't
It
matter.
shouldn't matter.
Right.
I
Wear
mean,
the
I would
ugly
rather that we
help
don't
you.
have ugly undies.
Right, that's where I'm at,
Oh,
right?
don't
Like,
wear your ugly undies.
come on, throw them out.
But
Yeah.
that was all right. Number 8, sharing your home address before you've met.
No.
I don't even
Safety
have them pick
first.
me up.
Safety
Nope,
first.
nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
Safety first. That's a pass. Number 9, masturbating before the date to take the edge off. Isn't that like eating before you go to the grocery store?
Guys, it's a
Doing
trip.
that? Yes.
I
Is
tell
that-
all my clients,
not?
masturbate
Do it.
before you go on a date. It
Also,
will.
it just
Yeah.
makes you look so pretty and flushed
And
and
glowy.
happy.
Oh, look at
A
that.
satisfied
Okay.
woman is the sexiest woman. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So masturbating
careful.
smash. Okay. I like it. Number 10, last one. Dressing totally casual. Jeans and a tee, no glam, but maybe going to a nicer restaurant. I'm going to add that in there. No, I think I love a first date when you get done up and look cute. And I think that's just
Yeah.
a
But
thing.
you
We're
don't
a
have
mix.
to.
We're a
No,
mix.
you don't
We're a
have
mix.
to do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was
Yeah.
fun. Legs closed on that one, ladies. So that was so much fun. I think it's really great for us to be talking about dating in our 50s, in our midlife, during menopause, all of the things. We want to hear from you guys listening out there. I have a quick wild card question for the listeners so you guys can take a poll and answer this question. If you're feeling the chemistry on the first date, do you go for the kiss or do you keep it classy and wait? So we're going to put up a poll whether they're going to kiss me now, life's too short, or nope, let them earn
Fun.
it. So check in for that. You guys check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Menopause Love Lounge. Please DM us. We'd love to hear that. We have so many great episodes up on YouTube. Check them out if you want to see all our beautiful faces. Lori does so many different faces for us. You have to check that out. And you can find the podcast anywhere you get your podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. We want to hear from you guys so we can create more amazing episodes. With that being said, we are closing the lounge for the day, ladies. Signing
Love
off.
you.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.